Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Metra AV Tech Tips Solutions. I'm Adam and you're going to see here, yep, Brent's not here. Let's see, I'm Adam, Brent's not here today. So I'm here to show you all a product on my own and tell you about it. So last Wednesday we had an episode about MOVs, how they work and what they do and why you want them. And so to go along with that episode on today's Friday episode of Tech Tips Solutions, we're going to talk about our AS-P-603W. So what is the AS-P-603W? Well, in short, it's a power distribution unit. Essentially what it is we have a total of, let's see if I can do the right number on there, 9 outlets on the unit. On the front of it, we've got one always on outlet. That's kind of like a service outlet that when you put it in there and you go out there and you're doing the installation and you need to charge your laptop, you can plug it in there in the front. That's an always on outlet. There's a little LED to tell you more about that piece there. Or to tell you that it's on. Then on the back of the unit, we actually have, because there's a switch on the front that actually controls it, but on the back of the unit, we have 4 switched outlets that are switched with that switch on the front. They're switched on and off, of course. Then we have 4 smart outlets. Now, the reason that these are quoted as smart outlets is this connects to your Wi-Fi, and then through an app on the phone, you can control all 4 of those outlets individually. And so through the app, you can set a timer to have it just automatically reboot, or if you just want to give you or your client the ability to log in, you can actually do that with those outlets as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us a top-down shot so that you can see this a little bit closer, and we'll talk a little bit about it while we look at it here. Hit the right buttons to get it all working correctly. There we go. Okay, so on the front of the unit, pretty straightforward information here. We've got, here we've got some voltage and amperage readouts. So when you plug this in, you can see if you're getting the correct amount of voltage, and you can see how much current is being drawn through this unit as a total. That includes all 9 outlets as well as any of the USB charging. It also has a USB-C 3 amp charging port and a USB-A 2.4 amp charging port as well. On the front, of course, it tells you if you're grounded protected or if the switched outlets are on or off, and that's with this switch here for that. And then you got a little blue LED here on the front to tell you that this outlet is on, which on the back of the unit, you also have those blue LEDs on the smart outlets. And so up here next to each outlet, it has its own blue LED. And then, of course, you've got the 4 switched outlets here for those connections as well. So this also is a surge protector. It has 2,160 joules of power and surge protection. As always, everyone who's watching, thank you so much. If you have any questions about the device that I'm talking about today, feel free to leave them over in the chat section over on the side. Or you can, of course, if you're watching this after the fact, you can leave them down in the comment section below. So feel free to do that as well. This is rated to be used on 120 volt systems, so it is just a standard US style plugs to be used on 124, 110 to 120. It is a 15 amp rating. It does have 2 pairs of coax protection, so you can tie in coax cable connection in there so you can help protect that as well. It's got 65 dB of EMI and RFI noise filtration on there as well, so that'll help to kind of keep the signal nice and clean for when you're plugging something into it. It does have a DC in here, so it's a 3 to 30 volt 10 milliamp connection. So if you have like an AVR or something that has a voltage output on it, you can actually trigger the switched outlets to turn on and off with that trigger there. It also has your fuse connection here, so you can actually you can go in there and change out the fuse on that, or you can hit the reset on that to if it goes past the 15 amp circuit. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have an 8-foot power cord with it as well. So this is a hardwired 8-foot power cord, so you don't change that out, but it is 8 feet, so you can go to pretty much anywhere that you need to go with it. Of course, it is a metal housing and it's UL approved. So this has gone through the UL testing to make sure that it has all the protections and everything that you would come to expect from a UL certified device. And it also uses the Tuya Smart app. So that's how that works. So you get this connected to the Wi-Fi via the app, and all you have to do is just download the app onto, just your cell phone. Pretty straightforward. walk through the setup process through the 2U Smart app, and it'll tell you every step of the process to do. Here on the back of it, just a quick overview of it, next to the Wi-Fi antenna, there's a little reset button, and you'll use that during the setup process. But you get this thing installed into your rack or on a shelf, and then you go through the setup process. Once you plug it in, you go through the setup process on the app, and then that gives you direct control over this. This also does come with a 3-year limited warranty on that, so that way if something does happen, you can give us a call and we'll help you take care of that. So one of the big questions is, where would you use a device like this? How would you use it? Where would you use it? Good question. So the ears are also removable, so you'll see on one side of the unit, I've got this already pre-set up. These are thumb screws, so you can just unscrew them and screw them in just with your hand, so you don't have to use any extra tools. There are Allen openings in there, so you can use just an Allen key to tighten those down if you wanted to. On the other side, it also comes with Phillips head screws to tie in there as well. And then, of course, it is rack mountable in a 1U rack mount fashion. So that's there for that as well. So what we'll do is we'll talk about where and why you would use this device here. So the AS-P-603W, its sole purpose is really just to become a power distribution system. And so you can put it into your rack, you can give everything power in the rack, and you can turn on and off certain devices. Now, one caveat to that to understand also is that because the commands are coming down from the server, just be aware, we don't want to have any network devices plugged into this, like the router, network switch, or the modem plugged into this, because if you were to turn those off with the Smart app, the outlets would turn off, but they would never turn back on because they won't be able to get the on command. However, this is perfect for being used with like cable boxes, AVRs, you know, any kind of media device where maybe it doesn't have to stay on all the time. You can put a timer on it. Or if you're running into problems with that device, you can go ahead and open up the app, hit the reset button on it, and it'll reset that outlet, turn it off, and turn it back on again. You can also put a timer on these. So if you have like a cable box, for instance, cable boxes are notorious for having issues if they've been on for too long a period of a time. So what you can do is maybe once a week, you can go in and have this set to reset the power going to those cable boxes and let them kind of reset themselves. So you can do that like 3 a.m. in the morning. That way you don't really have to worry too much about the system, the cable box not working during the day. But again, also because it's all set as a schedule, you don't have to worry too much about that kicking in, you know, there's somebody having to manually do that themselves. You can download the app for yourself, or you can have the client download the app and then get them set up with that. You can also, through the 2U Smart app, you can share access to this device to different users. So if you have someone like yourself that as the dealer who's doing the installation, the client wants you to monitor their system, you can do that. And then if the client wants access to it, you can share access to this device from your app to theirs using either I believe it's a mobile phone number or an email address as well. So that has that capability with it as well. So this is a great piece. Reach out to your sales rep or your distributor to find out availability and pricing on it. It's a great piece if you need to just have some extra outlets, or if you need to control outlets like something like an Apple TV or something else where you just need to reset it every now and then. Or if you just want to control a device of some kind remotely, you can do that through this piece as well. So again, everybody, this is the AS-P-603W. Reach out to your sales rep, reach out to your distributor to find out availability and pricing. And as always, if you have more questions about this device, feel free to reach out to us here at our phone numbers here for tech support. Our phone number here is 386-492-8584. You can, of course, reach me at adam.rogers@metraav.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about this device or anything else that's in our catalog. So feel free to reach out to us, and we'll help you out with anything else. I think that basically covers everything with this device. So if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to us directly, find out availability and pricing, and we'll go from there, everybody. So this has been another episode of Metra AV Tech Tips Solutions. We'll see you next Wednesday, where we'll have another Tech Tips episode, and of course next Friday, where we'll have another Tech Tips Solutions to talk about a product that we sell specifically that goes along with whatever topic we were talking about on Wednesday. So we'll see you next time. I'm Adam. Remember, reboot early, reboot often. Don't cut your wires too short. Turn off CEC, and of course, call tech support. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.